Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about reconnecting with our inner child today and learning how to play with it and to invite it into our lives, because it really is an aspect of ourselves that sometimes gets lost in another time and place. You know, we're amazing creatures and we're humans, and we're learning how to navigate living here on planet Earth. And a lot of things happen to us. We get exposed to different things. We have a tendency to label them as good or bad, but they're just episodes and learning experiences. And when you're mindful enough to really tap into what is deeper underneath the surface, this is where the gold nuggets come in, and this is where you could gain that lasting knowledge, but tap into your inner wisdom and allow you to move beyond surviving to thriving. It kind of gets you off of the perpetual hamster wheel and allows you to get to the core issue of what's going on, so you don't no longer have those repeating patterns or those triggers that continue to kind of muck up your life a little bit. So, what actually is like your inner child? Well, your inner child is an aspect of you, and I'm going to best describe this in the simplest way so you guys will get this. Sometimes when we are experiencing things in our lives, part of us gets broken off and placed in another time and place. And maybe something, for example, maybe something happened when you were a child and it had such an impact of you that part of you kind of got stuck in that time and place, even though decades have gone by and you're, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So what happens is that this aspect of yourself is like one of your children. It's part of you, but it's your inner child. A part of you got fractured off in another time and place. And it's about recollecting those aspects of ourselves so we could become more complete and whole and gain more, I'm going to say, bandwidth in our creativity, and also allows us to reintegrate those parts of ourselves and heal them up so that we become more complete and whole. And I hope I explained that simply enough for you. But today's, episode is really looking at the inner child and the inner child work, because I feel that this is so, so important right now. For many of us are going through major, major shifts. Lots of triggers are flying around in our external world that are really pushing our buttons and making us more aware of things that are possibly not working in your life. Instead of coming from a reactive stance, it's coming from a more contemplative stance. Just for an example, for me, I personally am going through some stuff right now where I realize that some of it's like repeating patterns, where it's the same theme but a different variation. So what happens sometimes is that the same reactions that I'm getting, and this person has, no idea that they're triggering this in you, but yet you go down that rabbit hole of your past experiences of what that was like, because it's a feel thing, even though this is on top here is not even related to what is deeper underneath the surface. So when you're able to look at things and witness it, and I think the first key is that be curious as you can. You know you're being triggered. And instead of, this is where your power comes in your choice. It's like, if you know you're being triggered, okay, great, I'm being triggered. So I'm going to just observe what's going on versus being reactive and not wanting to when we're reactive, we're on automatic and we try to control our environment. So we keep everything in nice little boxes. But now it's time to unpack the boxes and look a little deeper as to why those things are happening. So, I want to talk a little bit about, the inner child concept because I think it's a very interesting. And I kind of did a little research on this, so I'm going to read this for you. It's like our inner child is a concept in psychology that refers to part of us that holds onto a childhood experience, emotions, and the ways of being. It is not literally a little person inside of us, but rather a representation of the childlike part of our personality. Well, it's probably a little aspect of who we are that's locked in another time and place that is sitting there, lost, feeling alone, and feeling not heard, valued, respected, or whatever. So when we can look at ourselves from that perspective, we are able to delve into a deeper part of who we are and to just be curious. So healing the inner child, many people, there's a lot out there in regards to that. I feel that this is really important work because when you're able to reconnect with a part of yourself that has been in another time and place, um, you're able to heal, and it has a ripple effect and not only in this lifetime, but also it carries over to other lifetimes as well. To access like inner child stuff, some people say therapy, and there's, lots of different therapies that people know. Sometimes it's just, self-reflection, and sometimes it's just the simplicity of just tapping in to your innate wisdom and just asking for your inner child to come forth to show you where this situation has originally rooted in their perception, because the inner child knows everything basically of that it keeps. I hate to say this, but it's almost like it keeps score. It remembers all the details of all the things that they weren't treated right or whatever, and it's part of looking at how that happened, and you as an adult going back to that time and place with that inner child so that you could be the parent in that role because you're the adult version of the child, and you could just give it a different perspective on what was actually happening. And it's not about making up excuses or rationalizing why certain things happened. It's really about just putting it in perspective so that your inner child could reincorporate with you so you can move forward. It's about having more compassion for yourself. It's about nurturing and loving yourself more. It's about looking and nurturing and loving those parts of yourself that sometimes don't want to look at, but your inner child is there in all those different things. So I want you to think about something that maybe is going on in your life that is just, sometimes it might be something minor, or maybe it's something really heavy duty, and just sit with what you're experiencing and just ask the essence of your inner child to come into your awareness and see what you're able to obtain from that, learn from that, or even experience what was going on, because you might start having epiphanies about, oh my God, now I know where this came from, And I could see this, and it's about loving and appreciating and valuing that little aspect who is an aspect of us, and just allowing it to be called back to who we are, so we are contained and we become complete and whole. I feel that those aspects of our inner child are like fractures of our soul that get lost in another time and place, but yet on an unconscious level, they're running the show for us until we become more aware and we wake up a little bit, and then we're able to see how this is all unfolding or contributing to our life. So when we have external triggers, they truly are gifts. Even though they could be, a real thorn in your side, it's a gift because it's allowing you to look deeper within yourself so that you're able to heal something that has been going on for a long time, or make peace with something that's been going on a long time within yourself. So the ultimate thing is when you make peace with it, the trigger no longer is having the effect of getting you worked up. It comes to neutrality, and you're able to carry on and not have it affect you. So when you are being triggered, and it's like you maybe have this response where you just latch on to the pant leg. It's like a pit bull latching on to the pant leg of somebody and just hanging on to it and not letting it go and just shaking it and blah, 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 beating the crap out of it and trying to, control it. It's not, I'm going to invite you to look at it from a different perspective. Maybe the pit bull is grabbing onto that because it wants you to pay attention, so you will get the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that is there for you, instead of trying to control it. So it's a fine line, but it's like a 180-degree turnaround. When you're able to embrace those things, you're able to, I want to say, flip the switch. And it's that simple. Sometimes it's just the awareness is enough to create the healing. Okay. It could be that simple. So I like to joke about this because we're in really magical times because of everything that is happening in our world. The energies are free flowing, the vibration is a lot higher, and things are happening faster and quicker. And that even includes the potential to heal ourselves. It's, aligning the body, mind, soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, so we're able to move forward and create that lasting healing and true health and wellness that we all, deserve and desire. It's like the analogy when all the holes in the Swiss cheese line up. Okay, so one of the holes might be your emotional body or your spiritual body, another one, a different aspect. But when all those holes in the Swiss cheese line up, it's like a bullet point. And this is where the alignment happens. And this is when we are able to almost have what people call a miraculous healing. I call it like flipping the switch, because it's all energy, and that's how quick it happens. So you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, and we're going to be going on a break shortly. And when we return, we're going to talk more about the power of play, reconnecting with our inner child. So stay tuned, and we'll see you when we come back.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we are talking today about the power of play and reconnecting with our inner children or our inner child. And, before we went on break, we were talking a little bit about what the inner child is and why it's really important to look at those aspects that, maybe have fallen away from us but are landlocked, I call in another time and place, that are just really wanting to come back home and be reintegrated with ourselves. So some of the important things to remember, some of the benefits of connecting with your inner child are that you are able to have a better relationship with yourself. Okay. It's about, you have more self-understanding. You're able to, have a deeper sense and really have a deep relationship with yourself. And it's learning how to become your own best friend too, because this is part of who you are. And I feel that sometimes our natural tendency is like to push the uncomfortable places away and keep them at bay and not invite them in. And so this is going to be like a 180 and a pivot here, because it's time to embrace and invite those pieces back. Okay. When you start integrating your inner child and doing inner children work, it has a tendency to reduce your stress and anxiety, because sometimes when there's a trigger, we have anxiety and stress, and it's like up here on the surface. And then when you're able to embrace that and integrate that, it's like you're going below the surface. And so you're actually de-stressing and also creating less anxiety, because you're actually tapping into what is actually making you anxious and stressed out. Something to keep in mind. And also, when we embrace more of who we are and call our parts back, it's like we get this boost of creativity, and it allows us to be more present in the moment, but also more connected to ourselves. And then it also helps with creating stronger relationships, not only with ourselves, but with other people as well. And, I think the most important thing is like the self-compassion part. When we are able to have compassion for ourselves and the stuff that we've gone through, I'm going to invite you to try this little experiment. When something's coming up in your world and it's pushing your buttons, instead of going down the rabbit hole I'm just going to invite you to focus on the word self-compassion and feel it and just offer that to yourself. Sometimes that's enough to dissipate what's going on and brings you more to a neutral state. Like I was saying, our natural tendency is to want to fix it, keep it at bay, and not experience it. And I'm just going to invite you to give it a dose of self-compassion for that situation, but also most importantly for yourself, how you're reacting to it. Just allow yourself the grace with self-compassion. It's a superpower, really. So, how important is it really to play with your inner child? It is. And we talked a little bit about stress relief and creativity, but it allows you to, I say, be in the present moment. And we're all about being right here, right now, especially what I teach and how I coach people. It's the only thing that's important right now is this present moment. Because when you're in the present moment, you're right here, right now. You're not worrying about yesterday or contemplating tomorrow. You are experiencing life to its fullest because you're in this moment living it. When you are in the present moment, you have a lot of clarity. You gain a lot of clarity, and your connection with people, because you're fully present with them, allows you to have better connections. And when you are going through challenging things, being in the present moment and just taking, if it's just life nanosecond by nanosecond, one moment at a time, this is all sometimes you need to do. And instead of trying to figure it out. Because when we try to figure something out, we just jump out of our body into our head and we're no longer in the present moment. So just allow yourself the gift of grace to just be where you're at right now and just start practicing some gratitude. A lot of times we forget about being grateful for what we have in our lives. And when we aren't grateful, things kind of snowball. You're focusing on what you don't have and, the situations and how bad it is and la, 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 you just go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to invite you to, when stuff starts happening, start looking at what you're grateful for. And maybe this will be a stretch for some people, because when you're in the throes of all this downward spiral, as I call it, going down the rabbit hole, it starts perpetuating quickly. And sometimes it's a challenge to stop that, but you are in charge. You can stop that and flip the switch and just think about 3 things that you are grateful for. Okay, so I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I have this comfortable bed that I get to sleep in every night. I'm grateful for my cat that just gives me love, unconditional love and acceptance, and purrs whenever she sees me. Those are things to be grateful for. So where I'm going with this is, when you start focusing on the things that you are grateful for, you're going to continue to perpetuate that, where more and more things are going to come into your life that you are going to be grateful for. And sometimes you could look at the silver lining of situations that you're going through. Yes, this person is pushing my buttons, and I'm grateful for that because I get to look deeper within myself and to heal what is going on. Just an example. So some of the benefits for the inner child when we play with our inner child is that we get to heal, and we get to heal those unresolved emotions from childhood. And trust me, we all have them. Some people call them baggage. Some people call them, things that they'd rather not revisit. And I'm going to give you a newsflash. They're there, their energy. And unless they are healed, experienced, shifted, they're still going to be there running the show. The good news is that as many of us are awakening into our, I'm going to say, going on our spiritual journeys, or awakening and realizing that things on the outside had been working up to a certain point, but now they are no longer working. And it's like, it's the call that we are, are waking up. We have woken basically, and life needs to be different for us in order to move from this point forward. And a lot of times there's no reference point for that. So when we are healing ourselves, we are in uncharted territory sometimes. And sometimes the inner child just needs to um, be allowed to be who it was, especially if we were in situations growing up where we were told we were too noisy, or that we needed to be quiet, or you're not allowed to feel, or you need to do X, Y, and Z in order to be considered a worthy member of the family. Whatever that was, sometimes the self-expression gets squelched or squelched when we are children, and the child is just angry about that because it can't be who it wants to be and who it truly is at its soul level. So allow the inner child to express itself. When it's going to give you some gold nuggets, possibly, of why it is being the way it is. It's about asking it to show you why it's so mad, and it will show you or tell you. Just ask it questions and say, how can I best support you? And whatever you get from the inner child, just allow yourself to support her. Maybe she just needs a hug. Maybe you could just ask him or her, what is it you need from me right now to make you feel better? And just trust that. Sometimes you might want to have a conversation before you get up in the morning. Connect with your inner child and just say, what would you like to do today? And see what's the first thing that comes out. Maybe she wants to go to the park, or he wants to go out and play with ducks. Whatever that is, I invite you to just be with what is, and just allow yourself the joy that's going to come from those experiences. So some of the things that people how they connect with their inner child is like, sometimes just ask them what they would like to eat. Maybe they want ice cream, and enjoy the ice cream when you're eating it, and just imagine your inner child working with the ice cream and eating the ice cream and just having a time of her life, and just allow that to resonate through you. It may be, maybe she wants to dance or he wants to dance, so take dance lessons. Or maybe he's wanting to play a musical instrument, so maybe look into playing the musical instrument, because this is an aspect of you that is wanting to blossom through. And how many times do we ignore those things? Like, we're almost afraid to start a new project or pick up a hobby because you think, oh, this is crazy. But I'm going to invite you to lean into that. And if there's something that you've been really wanting to do, like maybe paint or play music or spend time in nature or take dance lessons, try a new activity, because this is a great way that your inner child may be trying to let you know that this is something that you guys could do together. Now, I'm going to touch on something that I think is kind of interesting too. Did you know that your animals also have inner children? They do. I remember when I adopted my recent cat, Gracie. She was an adult, and I adopted her when she was about 2 years old. And I felt like she was having a real struggle with things, because I could feel that something was off with her. So one day I was going through my own coursework of working on my inner child, and she jumped up on my chest. And so it was interesting. So I just thought, I'm going to just play with this. So I tapped into her, and I saw her inner kitten, and I saw my little girl, my inner child, and the four of us were playing together. So my inner child and Gracie's inner kitten were playing together, and I was sitting with my cat playing together. And it was very, very healing experience, and I was able to help her shift something that had been really traumatic in her 2 years prior to me, her coming to me, and she's been a different animal since then. So yes, animals do have aspects of themselves that we could call like their inner kitty, inner doggy, whatever, inner hamster, inner gerbil. We all have those aspects that I think when we experience things or have traumatic things, that part of us breaks off in another time and place. So I can't believe we're getting ready to go to our next break, but you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about the power of play and reconnecting with our inner child. And we're going to do a little guided meditation that's going to allow you to go there and experience that. So stay tuned and see you when we return.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and we've been talking about reconnecting with our inner child, and we all have that. And Sarah just chimed in here. My guts are rechurning. What is my inner child trying to say? Well, you know what? Maybe you're hungry. Maybe she's hungry. I don't know. Check in with her. Maybe she needs a snack or something. Or maybe what you're listening to has some bearing into maybe looking at things that may be going on in your life. But anyway, so I want to guide you guys through a inner child playful connection meditation. So you get to maybe get a little taste and experience of what it's like to connect with your inner child and just have an episode with her or him. So I'm just going to invite you to just get comfortable and, either sit or lie down where you're not going to be disturbed, and just close your eyes gently or soften your gaze if you prefer, and just Take a few deep breaths in through your nose and slowly breathe out through your mouth, releasing any tension you may be holding. And our breath is so important. It allows us to go deeper within ourselves. So just really allow yourself to take those inhales in and allow those exhales to come out. And just allow it to flow easily without effort. There's really nothing to do. Breathing is just a normal thing for all of us that live here on Earth. So imagine yourself standing on a beautiful meadow. The sun is warm on your skin and a gentle breeze blows through your hair. Look around and notice the vibrant colors of the wildflowers, the sounds of the birds singing in the trees, and maybe even the waif of the wildflowers as the breeze goes by. Take a deep breath and feel the fresh air fill your lungs. Just be in that beautiful meadow with all the smells, the feel, what you're seeing. Just allow yourself to take that all in. And in the distance, you see a small figure sitting by a tree. And as you get closer to that tree, you realize it's you as a child, maybe around the age of 5 or 6. And with your curiosity, just observe, what is this younger you wearing? What is their expression like? Are they happy, sad, quiet? What is the feel around that? Approach your inner child slowly and kindly and notice how they react to your presence. Do they seem happy, curious, or maybe a little shy? I invite you to kneel down to their eye level and offer a warm smile. You can say something like, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm you, all grown up." Spend a moment connecting with your inner child and just ask them if they have anything they want to show you or tell you. Perhaps there's a favorite game they used to play, a place they loved to visit, or a silly song they enjoyed singing. And just listen with an open heart. Now, I invite you to join your inner child in their favorite activity. Are they building a sandcastle on the beach? Are they swinging on a swing set with wild abandon? Or maybe they're lost in a world of pretend, having a tea party with stuffed animals. Whatever that is, just allow yourself to immerse yourself fully in the experience, feeling the joy and the uninhibitedness of childhood play. As you play with them, notice the emotions you feel. Are you happy, carefree, full of laughter? Let these positive feelings fill your entire being. Now take a few deep breaths, feeling the sun on your skin and the wind in your hair one last time. Thank your inner child for the playtime and gently tell them you'll be back to visit again soon. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. And I invite you to carry the feelings of joy and playfulness with you throughout your day. Remember, a little bit of fun goes a long way, and you can always reconnect with your inner child for a playful energy boost. So, welcome back. And how was that? Were you able to connect with that aspect within yourself, your inner child? Maybe this is the first time you've actually met, or maybe you're a regular and you connect on a regular basis as well. Either way, this is a real simple way to connect with your inner child. And I invite you to return to this, to have those little snippets so you can remember that connection that you have with her. So I want to kind of segue into this because I think this is kind of important for you all. And it's really about how we could better connect with that aspect of ourself and the cool things that will come out of it because of us just being brave enough to go there. A lot of times we have these missed opportunities for joy because we don't want to go there and connect because we're afraid that we're going to fail, or we're blinded to the positive, meaning that we're so serious that we can't even allow ourselves to have fun. Okay. I think sometimes some of us have a tendency to take ourselves way too serious. I know sometimes that's my MO, that, when I get really quiet and it's just like I get really serious, I need to get over myself and I need to do something silly and fun just to realize that I'm still alive and breathing, because we get way off on a tangent and it's almost as if we don't allow ourselves to have fun. And when we don't allow ourselves to have fun and can't laugh at ourselves and even be playful, this can really cause a lot of havoc in our lives. And also it could really get us out of the flow of what we are truly supposed to be doing. Okay. Life is supposed to be fun and experiential. When we try to control it, we lack spontaneity, and we also just stop having fun and joy. And that inner child of us is just sometimes just sitting there like this, defiant, like, well, how dare you? And it's just like, it's like when you're feeling like you are stuck, sometimes your inner child is stuck as well. So this is like a call for you to go and do some rescue work, if you want to call that, or it's time for some playtime or some fun time, or just even it's time to just go out and have ice cream. So knowing that, I just invite you to consider how you're feeling and then take it from there. Are you being too serious? Maybe your inner child needs some playtime, and I invite you to go and take her out for ice cream. So you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we come back, we'll just wrap up our episode on the power of play, reconnecting with your inner child. See you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And I want to do a little infomercial here because I'm really excited about this program that my partner and myself, Cozy Stankakis, and I are putting together. It's called I'm Awake, Now What? And this is geared for people who have woken up. They have had their spiritual awakening. Maybe life had been working for you up until a certain point, and then all of a sudden it's no longer working, and you have no reference point as to what is next for you. So this is a group that we're putting together. It's a monthly membership, and it is a support, insight, tools are going to be offered, and also it's community, and it's assist you on your unique awakening experience, because everybody's on their path, and this is to help you. I just want you to know that you're not alone and there's support out there. So if this is something that is of interest to you, I invite you to go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com/I'm-awake-now-what, and just explore and check that out. And if this is in alignment with you, we would love to have you and be able to support you in any way possible. So on our show today, we've been talking about exploring our inner child in play. And I just want to recap everything that we've kind of talked about. Remember, your inner child is a part of you that holds onto childhood experiences, emotions, and ways of being. It encompasses both positive traits like creativity and joy, and unresolved emotional wounds and negative beliefs. So it has like the whole gamut. When you connect with your inner child, you can help understand your emotional triggers a lot better. He or she will give you a world of insight as to what it's holding on to from past experience that maybe you're not even aware of, but now you become aware of, and now you could do something with. Connecting with your inner child you could do through therapy, journaling, or self-care can be helpful as well. And the importance of play for adults. And playing has so many benefits. It reduces stress, it boosts creativity, it strengthens your relationships, and increases your resilience. And it also allows you to reconnect with your inner child and experience joy. And we're really all about having more joy in our lives. How about you? I know I am. Bring more play into your life. And it can be simple. Maybe it's time to lean into those hobbies that you want to explore, or those things that you want to do, or those clubs you want to join. and just incorporate a playfulness to you. No matter how old you are, when you have that playfulness aspect to you, it does not age you. Remember that. The innocence of connecting with your inner child through play comes from rediscovering your curiosity, joy, and lack of self-consciousness. Just look at how innocent kids are. They just are in the moment, and they really don't care what's going on until the adult world looks over them and says, "You've got to stop this." They're doing their thing, and they're just having the time of their lives. So let's go back to that place where we're having the time of our lives. Don't take yourself so seriously. This like robs you of the joy of life, basically. And it can lead to missed opportunities, strained relationships, and increased stress. So, lighten up. Nothing better but lighten up. Lightening up and being playful can benefit you by increasing your enjoyment, strengthening your relationships, reducing your stress, and enhancing your creativity. So I just want you to remember, you still can be serious about your goals while incorporating fun into your life. It's a dance. It's a balance. Reconnect with your inner child, embrace play, rediscover the joy of being in the present moment, because your inner child will keep you in the present moment. So I want to leave you with this quote by George Bernard Shaw. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. And I think this quote captures the essence of keeping a playful spirit throughout life. It reminds us that play isn't just for children, but a vital ingredient for staying young at heart and enjoying all that life has to offer. So just remember this: life is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the opportunity to learn, grow, and most importantly, have fun along the way. Don't be afraid to connect with your inner child and rediscover the simple joys of play. Let laughter be your medicine, creativity your guide, and a playful spirit your companion. Remember, it's never too late to add a little more fun in your life. True that. So next week on the Dr. Dolores Show, we are going to be talking about the power. No, we're not. Anyway, we talked about the inner child. We're going to be talking about how we could connect with our inner healer within. And I feel that many of us give that power away to something outside of ourselves. And it's more about the whispers to wisdom, interpreting your body's message. So it's learning how to tap into your body's innate wisdom and those pieces of ourselves that we have a tendency to separate and put in little boxes on shelves, instead of incorporating everything together as a matrix, because everything is interconnected. It's not, separate by itself, even though it can be. It all works in harmony together, the body, mind, and soul. When we separate those things into little boxes, that's when we start going down a rabbit hole and creating some problems for ourselves, because things aren't talking to each other in the way that it should. So stay tuned next week. It should be a very interesting show, interpreting your body's message. And thanks again for listening. If you're interested in I'm Awake, Now What, please go to my website and sign up. And we will see you next week on another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. Be well and be kind to yourself. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.